Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be the weekly review of the Power Profit Scan newsletter, which is a portion of the Inner Circle subscription that is available on my site. The other portion being the live trading chat room. But this is where I like to kind of go over this portion because it shows you what you can expect, how it works, and gives you a little kind of behind the scenes, if you will, of this part of the subscription service. Now, a couple of disclaimers before I get started. First, am I trying to make it seem like every single alert that I make, every single scan that I send out is a winner? Absolutely not. Nobody is perfect. No one is perfect. No scan is perfect. So I am human. Losses happen. And as a trader, that's just part of the game. But what I do want to illustrate is that while losses do happen, winners also happen, meaning risk management, risk control, keeping your losses controlled is very, very important because, yeah, that's going to happen. But as long as you don't let things spin out of control, because winners also occur, those winners are going to be able to, overcome those losses when done right, of course, and keep your account over the long haul, trending in the direction that you want to see it. So losses happen, but keep them controlled because when those winners come along, let those winners do their job and keep the account uptrending. The other point I want to make is we are going back a ways into the newsletter, and we're going to look at the week of 10/29. Why am I going back so far? Well, two reasons. First off, it's just simply giving everything enough time to play out. It's letting the chart, form enough data, so now we know what happens. And then second, it's just a matter of being fair for the people that do pay for the subscription. I'm assuming that you would understand that if you paid for something, you wouldn't want to see what you just paid for all of a sudden out there on YouTube for free. So that's why I'm going back a couple of ways into the charts history. And then just I noticed it, but if you are interested and need some sort of idea for the holiday season right there, we do have gift cards. So you can just go to claytrader.com and there you go for the gift cards. So let's get to these examples. First one to take a look at is what I just kind of created a category for of a pump and dump flush. It was very obvious that this thing right here had become a pump and dump to think that it ran all the way up there, and then all of a sudden the price was falling back down. So as I pointed out, trying to see if it can flush down to that double bottom point, which was down here at basically 41 cents. So I was looking for a specific level here. So let's see how this played out. One minor note that I forgot to mention, I send out these alerts on the weekend. So what you see here is, Friday going into the weekend, and the next candle you'll see is, that Monday morning. I apologize. I just noticed that the formatting was a little bit off there. So there we go. Chart has been adjusted. So let's see how this played out. So right there is Monday, and you can see that indeed the price does continue to pull back as I stated. However, the problem, that right there, that is as low as it got, which was not the mark that I specifically talked about in the alert. And then from there it went all the way up to about a 60-ish, depending on how you calculate it, percent move. So yeah, this was a no play and a frustrating one, I would say, definitely. Nobody would want to miss out on percentage gains like that. But you know what? Welcome to the life of a trader. It happens. It doesn't make you a bad trader. It just means, yeah, you had the right overall idea. And, my idea was correct. There was that pump and dump. It flushed, and then all of a sudden it recovered back for a nice little move. But I wasn't, the details. I missed out there. So overall idea, correct. Detailed ideas, I was wrong based on the entry point. It didn't quite go down as far as I thought it could. So, yeah, as far as this one was concerned, nice play, but the problem is wasn't nice enough in the sense of letting people get filled. But, that, like I said, welcome to the life of a trader. Learn from it. It doesn't make you a bad trader. It just makes you human. The next alert to focus on here, pretty straightforward as far as a category, just questioning, is there some sort of bounce coming? So it was building a little bit of higher lows here, put out some, potential resistance areas via these dotted red lines here. So let's see how this one played out. And again, one thing to keep in mind, hey Clay, what do you cover? Well, our RTS, that first one, was below a penny, if you didn't take notice. Now look at the prices over here. Now we're talking about a stock that's between $10 to $15. And I'll keep revisiting this as we go with the other ones. But to answer the question, I'll go over, I'll put in the newsletter whatever I think has a probability of giving gains. I don't really care about the price. I just want, probabilities to be in, our favor as traders. So yeah, just keep an eye on those prices and you'll see there's going to be quite the variety. So let's see how this one now played out. Again, this was what it looked like over the weekend. So the next candle you see will be on Monday. So right there, plenty of opportunity to get potentially filled if you would want it. And then it begins its nice little journey to the upwards direction with a nice move there. And that proved to be a 10.3% move in a relatively short amount of time. It did recover, but I'm assuming, and it did go higher, but my calculations are based on that right there. So a 10.3% profit window. But I did want to just illustrate the power of charts. Surprise, surprise. Look right where the price then got rejected on its second move up, right here at that second red line. So the power of charts, and in my opinion, there's a real life example of our charts perfect? Absolutely not. But our charts worth learning? Our charts a tool that you should have in your tool belt? Absolutely. So 10.3%, nothing major, but as I always say, I'd encourage you to walk into your local bank, ask for 10%, or maybe you didn't play it quite right. So maybe you got 8%. Ask for 8%. I don't know, what was that, like a week? We'll call it 2 weeks. Go to your local bank, ask for 8% return on your money in 2 weeks, and make sure you take your phone and record their reaction. Next example here, or I should say not example, because this actually really did happen. So real life case study, there we go. Our next case study was pullback play on ticker symbol CLF, and just made it pretty apparent that, hey, this general area down here, looking for, can it make its way just a little bit further? So pretty self-explanatory. That was the big question going in. Could it get down to this area of the chart? So here we are with the chart going into the new week. Let's see how it unfolds. So there's Monday, not a whole lot. And then right there, absolutely beautiful, comes down here, finds some support right around this area right here. I'm not making that calculation based off of the assumption that you nailed the exact bottom. That'd be a little too perfect. So, the calculations are not based off that. But yeah, price came down, pulled back, got right around that range that I had popped out, or that I had talked about, and then got a nice little pop to the upwards direction. And then you can see from there, actually just got huge follow through, kept on going up that much more. And that yielded a profit potential of 16.3%. Again, am I saying people made 16%? No, but let's say you got 10% on it. Again, 10%, and let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. Walk into your local bank, say, I would like 10% return on my money in the next 5 days. Your bank will probably call up police on you for being a lunatic. So the power of the stock market. Got to keep things in perspective. I realize none of these are like some of the past videos where we've had multiple hundreds of percents. But, with these big board ones that, up in this price range, there's the liquidity thing where you can put in more money and be able to still have a good opportunity to pull it out. So percentage-wise, yeah, they're not epic, but hey, it all adds up in the long run. So just chip away at things. And that's what this week has been, or, as far as these new alerts are concerned. Missed one, and then the last two have just been kind of chipping away, letting this quote-unquote smaller, and I mean that very relatively, add up. And then the final one to talk about is, again, pretty self-explanatory. Is there some sort of breakout coming? As I map out here, we have this overall upwards pattern, and the key break point is this top portion of the pattern where on multiple times the price has been rejected from that area. So let's see if the bulls could finally get the breakout or not. To bring kind of full circle, now you look over here at the price of this one, and yeah, we've gone from talking about a penny stock to talking about something that is up over $90. And the other thing to keep in mind is, the volume. So you could have bought, and let's just say you decide, I'm going to get 5,000 shares, and 5,000 shares is nothing. I mean, you look at all the volume it's been doing, and to be able to sell 5,000 shares is nothing. It's a drop in the bucket when, on this day right here, it did well over, a million shares. So a million shares, and you just want 5,000. Now, what does that equate to? 5,000 shares at, we'll call it 92, equates to $460,000. So you could put $460,000 into this and have it be no big deal at all. Like I said, we'll just call it a million, and you have 5,000 shares. A million out of 5,000 shares out of a million shares. You say, okay, that's nothing. But that equates to $460,000. And I bring that up because, yes, this is going to be a winner. And when you look at the percentage, you're going to be like, okay, that's it. But you have to keep things in perspective. That first one we looked at, the penny stock, sure, that was like a 60-ish% missed opportunity. But if you put $460,000 into that penny stock, yeah, have fun trying to sell that. That's going to be a whole lot of shares that you're going to have to try to sell. Whereas this one, $460,000, yeah, no big deal at all, drop in the bucket. So got to keep things in perspective. You have to understand how liquidity factors into the market and, keep that in perspective. So let's see how this one plays out. On Monday right there, I really like this, how it went sideways for a little bit, let people get in if they wanted to. Never crashed, just went sideways, so a very polite move. It did break out, but it's not like one of those where it breaks out and then just leaves you in its dust. Gave everybody plenty of time, and then finally started to continue to work its way up there. And that move there equated to a 6.1% move. So making let's just say 5%, making 5% on $460,000 on $100,000. Even if you got 10,000 shares of 1 million shares is nothing. But that's just shy of $1 million that you could have put into this, and you would have had no problem getting 5% on $1 million in just a couple of days. So, and I'm not saying any members did that. I'm just trying to illustrate the liquidity and why percentages. This was a great move. I mean, that's a good breakout, 6% in about a week and a half on something where you could have put in, I can't say unlimited amounts of money, but huge amounts of money, and had no problem, selling them when it came time to sell. So good example here of, the kind of the range that we covered. But yeah, got the technical breakout and made a nice little move. Ultimately did roll back over. But yeah, a nice little opportunity to pull some profits from it. So overall, we had a bunch of wins. It was a highly successful week in terms of win rate. But as far as big percentages, yeah, nothing huge, but the consistency was definitely there. And you missed out, or we missed out on that one. But overall, it was definitely a good week. If you are interested in joining, or at least maybe learning more, then you can go to claytrader.com/inner circle, or just go to claytrader.com and there will be an inner circle section. Or you can just pause here, or maybe you're reading all this. These are all the other things that come with it. As mentioned, the live trading chat room is probably the more talked about component of it. But yeah, there are the power profit scans too. There is a mobile app, so it's not like you have to stay chained to your computer or anything like that, or your laptop. You can just use your mobile and stay in touch with everything. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of good things going. And then you factor in that the price is $99, not per week, not per quarter, not per month, per year. $99 per year. If you get out your calculator and break that down to, well, what is that average per month? $8.25. $8.25 per month. What does that boil down to if I break it down to per week? $1.90 per week. So I don't know, can you afford $1.90 per week? What does a coffee cost at Starbucks? What does insert blank cost? My guess is it's probably more than $1.90 per week. So yeah, no excuses. If you do have any questions, though, let me know. I'd be happy to answer them. You can reach out to me through social media. Leave it down in the comment section below. Contact me through the site. Whatever makes your life easier, I'd be happy to answer any questions you have. And I hope you decide to join up and start trading with us.